The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. Well. Seems like Texas A&M wants to make themselves known. They want to try to show their swagger, so to speak. You know what, ain't gonna mess with Texas A&M, but they keep sending these little letters to the principal's office begging for Nick Saban and Alabama to quit picking on them because we got picked on in the Big 12 for so many years. We were traumatized by Texas and Oklahoma. Let's talk about it. Here we are again, another episode of OCF. That's me, JPC, outlaw of college football. In today's class, just want to jump right in here and talk about old Texas A&M. You know, those Aggies from College Station, the all-male cheerleading tradition that we know so well. And here lately, man, it's like Texas A&M is just triggered as hell, man. I don't remember being this triggered. You know, I understand they got mad at Nick Saban in Alabama enough to, like I said earlier, to write a letter to the principal asking for them to make Alabama quit picking on them. But I'm like, I don't remember Texas A&M acting like this until this year, or in the past year or two. I'm like, what is the deal with Texas A&M? Why are they acting so like a big old bowl of pudding, man? Why are they being so soft? And then it hit me like a ton of bricks, 2 tons of bricks. It's 2 words: Texas, Oklahoma. That's right. You see, back in the day, it used to be called the Southwest Conference and the Big 8. Well, they merged, and for over, I guess, about 70 or 80 years, Texas had traumatized the hell out of Texas A&M. They basically about had their way with Texas A&M throughout the history of that rivalry. As a matter of fact, I think they're up 73-37. Not really a rivalry, if you ask me. And then when they merged the 2 conferences, not only did they have to get traumatized by Texas, but then they had the Sooners coming on board to traumatize them as well. If you remember back, Texas A&M probably took one of their worst beatings ever in their 100 and some odd history from the Oklahoma Sooners, 77-0, when they beat down that piece of dung called Dennis Franchione. It was like, I think it was like 70-0 in the 3rd quarter, or it might have even been 77 already. I think they backed off the entire 4th quarter for that game. And Texas A&M sees that. They're like, holy shit. Thought we got away from these guys. So they went to the SEC and they started beating their chests and said, hey, look, we're in the SEC now. We're better than y'all. And then they went around telling everybody that Texas was scared to play them and yada, yada, yada. And then we found out the truth in the last couple of weeks. We found out that Texas A&M is the one that didn't want Texas over here, because they're asking for Texas to be put in a different division. I mean, we already have some geographically constipated retardation going on already with our conference having Missouri in the East. That needs to be rectified. Now you're asking us to put Texas and Missouri in the East? Y'all about ass backwards, man, just like the whole male cheerleading thing. What's that all about? I've always wanted to ask y'all about that. And y'all say, well, it's a tradition. Oh, I don't know about that now. And there's certain things as traditions that need to be let go. Like, for example, bowl games and polls deciding national championships. That was a tradition too. But traditions have to change eventually. Some don't. Some are great traditions that need to stay around for eternity. But an all-male cheerleading squad? Really? To me, that sounds a bit sexist. And if I was all the female students at Texas A&M, I'd be a little pissed off that we're not allowed to cheer. We're not allowed to have a cheerleading squad. Why is that? Why don't Texas A&M allow females to be a part of their cheerleading squad? I don't understand that at all. I don't get it. It sounds a bit odd, if you ask me. Not only is it sexist, but it's just weird, man. And I'm not saying anything in connotation or for you to take it out of context and say that I'm making fun of people possibly being gay. That's not what I'm getting to here. I'm just saying it's weird because no one else does it. You know one college that has an all-male cheerleading squad, and there may be one out there, and I just don't know about it. But I don't know of one. And then, like I said, man, they want to push them over to the other division. What about Oklahoma? You gonna push them over to the other division too? You want a division of your own? You want like a playground division for Texas A&M and maybe Vanderbilt? You want to have just a little 2-team pod for the two teams that well, Vanderbilt don't even cry. At least Vanderbilt takes it like a man or a woman or like a real human with a spine. Texas A&M has been traumatized for over 100 years by Texas. And like I said, Oklahoma comes on board, and Oklahoma has got more tradition than Texas A&M as well. And now all of a sudden Texas A&M wants to start calling the shots, or they want to start tattling on people, or demanding that Alabama University get punished. Look, idiot, y'all been in this conference for what, over 10 years? And you don't know the proper way to say the University of Alabama? I don't know if anybody's ever called them Alabama University. Not even Auburn fans call them Alabama University. That'd be like calling Auburn the University of Auburn. Everybody knows that's not how you say it, man. And yeah, that's just a small little thing, but it's just another little red flag of long red flags that Texas A&M, maybe y'all are the ones that never should have been invited. Maybe y'all the ones that should not have been. As a matter of fact, y'all probably shouldn't have. Because if you'll remember back in the day when they were bringing in Texas A&M, Missouri, the first two teams the SEC wanted were Oklahoma and Texas. Oklahoma wouldn't come at the time because of some stupid thing they had going on where they had this mindset they had to bring Oklahoma State. Well, luckily, they backed off of that now. But let's think about this. Y'all answer the question for me. If Texas and Oklahoma had came to the SEC when Texas A&M and Missouri did, would we even be talking about Texas A&M and Missouri being in this conference? I don't think so. So Texas A&M, what you better do is count yourself lucky that you're over here in this conference. And you've had a 10-year head start on Texas and Oklahoma. So you've been spotted. It'd be like playing a game of 21 and me spotting you 17 points. If you can't win on the recruiting trail with a 10-year head start in the SEC, well, then you don't deserve to win. And that's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now dismissed.